In this video, we'll be covering some budgeting blunders. The first one is not having a budget at all. Budgeting is generally not something that we look forward to doing, as it can feel very limiting or can set boundaries that we don't necessarily feel comfortable with. But budgeting is the first step in taking control of your finances, so it is so important that you actually set one up. The second mistake that we make is that we don't put money towards savings, specifically towards an emergency fund. Unfortunately, life happens. It throws curveballs, there's unexpected expenses, and if you don't have an emergency fund set up, you possibly have to go into debt for that, or take out of your retirement savings or something like that, and that is not something that we encourage. So it is crucially important that you set a category in your budget for emergency savings. The third mistake that people make is that you think you can live without any fun money or treat yourself money. You've worked hard for your money, so that means you should enjoy your money. This should be a category that you include, so I call it, like I said, fun money or treat yourself money, and it's your guilt-free category. Budgeting is not all about just putting all your money into retirement and enjoying it later on. It's about finding the balance between enjoying your money now while still planning for the future. The fourth mistake that people make is not reviewing your budget. So once you set it up, you put it aside and you forget about it. That's not what budgeting is all about. So life happens very quickly and things can change. So make a point of it to review your budget every few months and just make sure that you are still working toward your goals and that you are planning correctly. The fifth mistake that people make is thinking that they need to start from scratch. There are some people that love tables and Excel and formulas, so setting up a budget is really enjoyable for them. And then there are other people who that's very stressful, thinking that they have to start from nothing is overwhelming, and so they just don't start at all. But that's not the case. We have a free template online on our website that you can download. It's a very basic budget template, but it will do the job. Alternatively, if you would like something a little bit more advanced but still user-friendly, you're welcome to sign up for one of our coaching packages, and we'll send you the template. You'll also get some coaching time with that, along with a lot of other free resources. The sixth mistake that we'll be covering in this video is not being accurate enough with your budget. So you make some guesses, you try estimate what you spend, or thumb suck, and that is not what we encourage. I encourage you to be as accurate as possible. This way you avoid any unpleasant surprises, as well as getting demotivated if you think you keep spending more than what you budgeted for when actually you budgeted too little. Another budget blunder that people make is forgetting about quarterly or annual expenses, something like licensing, for example. So what I suggest is that you take the annual amount and you divide it by 12, and that way just include it in your budget monthly. Even if you don't spend it monthly, put that money aside so that when that big annual expense comes, you're prepared and you know what to do. Another blunder that I'd like to address is making room in your budget by only spending less. What about earning more? Sometimes you actually cannot cut your expenses anymore, and you might not be able to make your ends meet. So I think if COVID-19 has taught us anything, it's that we need to be prepared for unpredictable things, and you actually need to make sure that you have more than one source of income. So think about some skills that you have. There's lots of different ways to earn some money. So keep a lookout for our video and our blog on some side hustles that we can recommend, but just start thinking in that direction that you don't always need to cut your budget. You could possibly increase your income. Another blunder that I'd like to cover is not thinking of the small expenses or not including them in your budget. So these are expenses like bank fees or tipping for parking attendance. These are not generally these big expenses that make a big dent in our budget, but they do cause us to have a little bit of inaccuracies. So my suggestion is that you include a small amount, you can even call it miscellaneous, in your budget, just so that you know that you have some wiggle room for those small expenses that we sometimes forget about. The last blunder that I want to cover is not asking for discounts. Never underestimate the power of asking. For example, if you've been paying your bond off for a couple of years, consider asking for a rate reduction. All that can happen is that they say no. Or, alternatively, you can get one and end up paying a lot less per month. Another example is your insurance on your car every year. So every year your car is actually a year older, so you should be paying less insurance. But if you don't ask, you won't know. So don't underestimate the power of asking for a discount or negotiating. So these are just 10 quick blunders that I thought I would cover when it comes to budgeting. Don't be overwhelmed by budgeting. Just take it one step at a time and learn from it. If you would like someone to talk to you about your budgeting or to bounce some ideas off or to hold you accountable, please feel free to get in contact with us. We offer a wide range of financial coaching packages, and we're here to walk this journey with you.